now if you wear your consumer hat, right, as a consumer of AI, now think about what's happening. AI is beginning to take control of our lives. We are giving, with this insufficiently framed, ill-framed AI that currently exists, we are giving it more and more control. And AI is observing us much more often. It's recording everything that we're doing. It is beginning to sell us more stuff. It's manipulating our opinion. It is telling us what to believe in, what not to believe in, what is reality. It's altering all of those things. And just to think that it's not, you're somehow different from others, think about just TV versus Netflix, right? Back in the 60s and 70s, you're watching TV, and it was tyrannical because TV would tell you exactly what program will come on what slot. And then comes Netflix, wonderful new service. You have full freedom. Whatever you want to watch, you can watch, right? That's what Netflix is. And it is all the control is back in your hands, right? You can decide what you want to watch. And Netflix is actually making your life a little bit easier by actually recommending the right programs to watch. Based on your interest, it gives you a score. It tells you this is the likelihood of, this is the average likely rating, your likely rating before you even see the movie or show, right? And then it gets a little bit better. And then it starts to tell you, it starts to do autoplay, right? So it starts to say that, look, I'm going to, as soon as you finish this show, I'm going to play the next show that I know you want, right? TikTok has taken it to a whole new level where TikTok says, you don't have to do anything because I know exactly what next video is. You don't have no decision required from you. Netflix, little less than that, but still trying to tell you what to watch next. It's decided for you what that match rate is. It says 83% match rate. It's pretty opaque right now as to what exactly is why the match rate is 83% for that show and 98% for some other show. It's not very opaque. It's making all those decisions, and Netflix now thinks that its enemy is sleep, right? Its competition is sleep. Netflix believes that its competition is sleep. So the question is, are your goals aligned with the goals of Netflix? Probably not, because Netflix wants to, and I'm not accusing Netflix of anything right now, but think of a futuristic scenario where Netflix wants you to watch more and more content, right? So it is certainly solving your problem in the immediate term, making you watch more and more, but is it aligned with your long-term interests of well-being? Not necessarily, because just in case it wants to tweak the algorithm a little bit more, it can get more results, especially if they have a short-term quarter, they want to do more revenues or lose less subscribers, they can actually tweak the algorithm just to improve their subscriber rate, right? So the alignment between your interests and the interests of the algorithm may not be there, right? So there, you might have to eventually get to a scenario where you might say, look, here's my AI. That's going to fight your AI, right? It's already happening in the recruitment world. For example, there are so many algorithms that are currently doing automatic resume screening. Think of Fractal's own situation. Fractal hires 400 people a year out of 100,000 resumes, right? We look at 100,000 resumes, hire 0.4% of people who apply to Fractal. It's humanly not possible. We don't have a recruitment team big enough to manually screen through all the resumes. So we have to use some algorithmic ways of making it more efficient. Now, here are people who've been advised as to how to beat that system. One of the ways to beat the system, as it's not our system's fault, but in general, how to beat resume screeners is to have, they say, you should write Cambridge and Oxford on your resume in white font, right? So human beings won't see it, but the algorithm will see it, right? And algorithm will actually shortlist you now because the algorithm thinks that you're more likely to get hired and perform better in your job. So there is a whole host of algorithms that are fighting on behalf of people to beat the algorithms that are actually trying to do the discerning, right? And therefore, if you think about as your role in your organizations, right? You have both the enterprise user and enterprise AI professional, and the one who's also also the sort of subject of AI, right? The question really comes down to, are we framing and solving the right problems? Have we really understood, and how do we align this interest between humans and machines? And in coming back to the 2006 Dartmouth conference, one of the things that there were a lot of disagreement was on, or speculation was, whether human-level AI will be achieved in the next 20 years or 25 years or not. There was wide disagreement. Ray Kurzweil, the big champion, said it'll happen. A lot of others people thought it was not possible. But that actually defeats the real question. The question really is not whether we'll achieve human-level AI or not. The question really is, will AI be very powerful and useful or not? And if it's very powerful and useful, that means that it can do good and harm. And really the question comes down to, are we really able to frame and solve the right problem? Which means that essentially it's about design. It's about bringing the right design to solve the right problems, and that's how we'll make progress. Thank you.